Hello, episode 55. Wow, can you believe it? 55, one away from 56. There's no significance for 56, but I just wanted to, I don't know, I said one away. Sigma's completely bottom tier character now because he doesn't hate Alice. I know, right? I can't believe it. Sigma, I trusted you. I believed in you. I thought we had a connection, a morphogenetic connection through time and space where I thoroughly understood you and controlled your actions, and this is how you repay me. Not even hating Alice, the one person who's wanted us dead, the one person who's actually killed us in this game if you don't count Dio. And all I wanted, all I could ever want, is for you to just hate her. Just use this opportunity to kill her, get your revenge, and avenge my decision. And you couldn't even do that. Sigma. Sigma. How could you? How could you? Anyway, let's continue playing.
You're lying!
Oh, okay.
I could have killed you. I would have killed you.
And you did kill me. Come on, clam down. No one's killing anyone. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Ouch. Yeah, it is funny to have this conversation after I definitively know. Like, this would 100% have so much more emotional weight if I could be like, damn, she nearly did kill me, but she didn't, so I forgive her. But like, she did kill me. Like that's the first end, not the first ending, but like the ending I got for this route. So you know, what are you gonna do? A single tear rolled down Alice's cheek, then another. I know the another meant another tear, but I don't know why my first thought was it kept rolling down more cheeks. Like, where is she getting so many cheeks from? Leaving shining lines across her face. When I reached out, I saw her tense just slightly. It's a good thing too, because I was gonna stab her. Slowly I brushed my thumb across her cheek and off. Across her cheek and off. You know, tears with it.
Why are
Kiss,
you doing
kiss,
this?
kiss, kiss, kiss.
You know, you kind of remind me of my father.
Okay, kisses off, don't kiss, don't kiss, don't kiss, don't kiss. Terrible. Probably up there with one of the worst lines you can say when you're in a situation, a romantic situation that could end in a... Not to say this is romantic, but like, you know. That's who you were after, right? People who killed your dad?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. They have anything to do with the Myrmidons? Myrmidons? Sounds like a dinosaur. And I'm not just talking about her dad! I'm ruining this moment. I'm never gonna be able to think of this music again.
Will you promise not to tell Clover that I cried?
Only if you tell me one thing. Your number. Ha! Come on.
If you keep your mouth shut, I'll tell you what you want to know.
Okay.
About myself. And about the Myrmidons. Deal?
And about Clover. I wanna know what's up with that. Sure. My lips are sealed.
Really?
What crying? I don't remember any crying.
Good. Alright then.
Oh, here we go. Alice took a deep breath and began. Ooh. To be continued now. My father is Egyptian, but my mother is French. They met while my mother was in Egypt on vacation. They married shortly thereafter. When I was 3, we all moved to the US. My father was a scientist, and his field was cloning. He was recruited by an American lab, which is why we moved. Did he make the IG replicator? Is this all her father's work and stuff? I didn't use. I'm sorry. I've moved my mind. I'm sorry. Father's a scientist. Okay. Both of my parents had used English around me from the time I was born, so I didn't have any problems adapting to life in the United States of A. By my ninth, write that down as a reference. By my 9th birthday, we'd been there for 6 years. That was when it happened. In the middle of the day, my mother showed up at school. That's not Lotus. Her eyes were red and puffy. She didn't say anything to me on the drive home. When we arrived, there were several policemen there to meet us. My father had always been a very punctual man, and when dinner time came and went with no sign of him, even I began to realize something terrible had happened. This is not her voice. It wasn't until several years later that I finally learned the truth. My father's lab had been attacked by terrorists. He had been kidnapped, but not killed. But not killed. He was not confirmed dead. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to come up later. Chekhov's missing father. For the rest of my childhood, my mother raised me by herself. I didn't realize it then, but it must have been incredibly difficult for her, as a single mother alone in a country where any relatives were a transatlantic flight away. Where any relatives were a trans. That's my high. She did her best to try to not let me see it, but every so often when she thought she was alone, the mask would fall away, and in every line of her face I could see exhaustion and loneliness. Much as I miss my father, it was those moments that made me wish more than anything that he'd never been taken. Ooh. Fortunately, I was an excellent student and did especially well in math. I earned a full ride scholarship straight out of high school and spent the next several years studying. After graduation, I took a job with the Department of Defense, hoping that they might have the resources to help me look for my father. I was immediately assigned to the Special Office of Internal Security. SOIS. Their purpose is to investigate and sometimes deal with terrorist organizations and other serious threats to the state. I can tell my mother wasn't happy about my decision, but she chose to remain silent about it. Eventually, I learned that the terrorist organization that had taken my father was none other than the Myrmidons, although at the time that name didn't mean anything to me. They were suspected of human cloning. Specifically, it was thought that they had been using cloning techniques to copy their most useful members and expand their ranks. This is interesting. Oh wait, are we clones? Wait, the Myrmidons apparently believed that they could use cloning to create a new race of humans. So they're Nazis. Now, at last, I knew the reason for my father's abduction. He was so cool they wanted to make 50 of him. The commander of the Myrmidons is a man named Left. What? Alright. We know his name and his gender, but not his appearance or his age. Because he's a you, Sigma. He's Snake. The Myrmidons are closely associated with a cult known as Free the Soul. I've heard of this before. We believe that Free the Soul provides their funding. FTS. What's such something? But trying to pin any kind of misdeeds on the cult's leader, a man named Brother, is like trying to nail Jello to a wall. What an analogy. A synonym. Brother. Left and Brother. What? Brilliant names. Brother is suspected to be fairly advanced in years, and rumors say he's so old he can't even get out of bed. Unfortunately, his mind seems to be as sharp as ever. Do you do like a GLaDOS, where he's like put in the thingy, and he becomes a robot? At that point, I hit a wall. I knew the Myrmidons had been behind my father's kidnapping, but that was all I could learn about them. Then one day, do the flop song. Zero escape, zero escape for choose last reward. Zero escape for choose last reward. Sigma guy was a normal guy, he was in his car doing his college assignment. Then one day at an accident thing and a gas mask thing, and he's put in a game. Zero escape, zero escape, Ambidex edition. Zero escape, choose last reward. Sorry. Hit a wall. I knew the Myrmidons had been behind my father's kidnapping, that was all I could learn. Then, one day, I got a tip that one of them were hiding in a building in the Nevada desert. Was Ace part of the Myrmidons? I'm trying to look at this, One day, Nevada desert. I headed out immediately. It's the thingy! It's the thingy! It's the cutscene! god, she's got some feet. On the way there, my car had some engine trouble and stalled out. I was trying to decide what to do when an SUV appeared out of nowhere. I'll give you one guess who was behind the steering wheel. Clover. That was the first time we met. Please mention the other characters. I'd like to mention them. Yeah, there were 4 other people in the car with her. When I asked them what they were doing, I got what was just about the last answer I'd expected. They told me they'd been locked up inside of the very building I'd been on my way to investigate, and that they were currently in pursuit of the people who had kidnapped them in the first place. What's it called? Santa and Ikane. My priorities shifted very quickly. After a short discussion, I convinced them to allow me to come along. My hope was to find the people they were chasing, who I was certain were Myrmidons. Are they? Cloning? No. No way Akane is behind that, right? In the end, however, we were unable to track them down. How much of a head start did... I don't call him Aoi, I call him Senta and Akane. But, how much of a head... They didn't have that much of a head start, did they? I guess we had an SUV. How the hell did they get out there? In fact, I still don't know where they might have gone. Eventually, I took Clover and her companions to SOIS headquarters. We decided that involving the police would only complicate things. After some questioning, it was determined that the people who had instigated this particular event were not connected to the Myrmidons. So, that theory was presented and quashed within the minute. That's gotta be a record. We did, however, discover that the mysterious disappearance and subsequent reappearance of several children 9 years prior was connected to Free the Soul. There was also a 6th person in the SUV, although they weren't riding in it per se. I was riding on them. A middle-aged man, who I'll just call H for now, cause his name is Hongo. That's right, I forgot his name was Giuseppe Hongo. that's not his name at all. It was not Ace Hongo. I can't remember. But yeah, H for Hongo. H for now, who had been bound and placed in the trunk. What actually is his name? No. Grandpa video. This one. Gentaro Hongo. Who'd been bound and placed in the trunk. According to the other 4, those other 4 being Clover, Junpei, Snake, Lotus. No. Clover, Junpei. Wait, what? Wait. Oh, the other 4. Junpei, Snake, Alice, Lotus, 7. According to the other 4, he had been behind the disappearance of the children 9 years earlier. There's my boy. We also learned that his pharmaceutical company, a major player on the world stage, was effectively controlled by Free the Soul. More specifically, I suppose Hey, H was a member of Free the Soul, and very committed to their cause. Where have these 16 boys and girls? I probably made this reference when I played the game, but this could be funny. Like, I don't know, 16 missing boys and girls can be tied to Danganronpa, I know. I don't have a punchline or like a joke or a hypothetical, I'm just like, neuron recognition. Danganronpa. So why had he kidnapped all these children? Is this? No, this is just like extra stuff. This isn't meant to be like, if you haven't played the last game, here's a rundown. Apparently, it's been part of an experiment designed to test the ability of certain people to gain access to what's called as the morphogenetic field. I don't imagine you've ever heard of it before, so I'll try and give you a quick rundown. Here we go. This is the stuff that we learned kind of in the save thing. Simply put, these people can access a sort of field that allows their consciousness to resonate with the consciousness of certain other people. To be honest, it might be simpler to just call it telepathy. The SOIS had heard of this particular ability before, and they had actually used it in a number of investigations. I wasn't surprised to learn of that it exists. I was shocked, however, to learn that these experiments had been carried out by a member of Free the Soul. If that was the case, then Brother must have known about it. The thought of him discovering a way to control and harness that power was terrifying. Is this like new race being morphogenetically connected to be controlled by one guy? I don't know. It wasn't too long after the incident in Nevada that another tip about the Myrmidons crossed my desk. This time, it claimed that the Myrmidons intended to launch a large-scale biological terrorist attack by Jove. My bosses decided that we needed more agents to deal with a threat of that magnitude, and Clover was recruited. Just her. Because she'd been a test subject in H's experiment. Wait, okay. Myrmidons intended to launch a large-scale biological terrorist attack. Radical 6. Because she had the ability to access the morphogenetic field. Yeah, but only with Snake. And we wanted to put that ability to use. Did you guys forget Snake? After several months of training, she was sent on her first mission. She would be tasked with the infiltration and investigation of a Myrmidon cloning lab. I was assigned to be her commanding officer. I hoped that our investigation might also give me a lead on my father's whereabouts. At last, I had a chance to find out what had happened to him. I wouldn't let that chance pass me by. Perhaps it was what kept me from noticing the truth. The whole operation was a trap. Oh wow. I actually look like a Burger King employee. The lab was fake, and Clover was captured almost immediately. Rookie move. I got there as fast as I could, but I was also captured. When I arrived at the building was only an empty shell. All of the conspirators who had pretended to be researchers and the like had already fled. I searched frantically for Clover until at last, in a basement room, I found. So they're not even gonna keep her nor kill her? She'd been tied to a chair, and on the floor next to her was another body. It was my father. No. It's another theory quashed of my father. But it's a clone! It's a clone of her father! It's not the real father! Is that... Would that have ever crossed her mind? Like, the guys who are like experts at cloning people? Maybe Chance? He looked as if he had just been dumped there, and when I got to him, his body was already cold. So at least he's been alive for quite a while. He lived a long and happy life. It's covered in dark, ugly bruises. Oh, never mind. It wasn't until later that I learned he had died from ruptured organs and internal bleeding. They had beaten him to death. Soon as Clover had been captured, a Myrmidon in a mask had come to visit her. He'd said that unless she wanted to end up like my father, she would leave them alone, and would tell her masters at the SOIS to do likewise. In retrospect, they must have known who I was, and who my father was. That was why they'd killed him. Perhaps they'd thought they were sending a message to me, or that once he was gone, I'd lose my reason for chasing them. But that just fueled me further. They were very, very wrong. I took Clover with me and left. I tried to console myself with the fact that I had, at least, been able to save her. I don't know why this voice has been so raspy and documentary for Alice, but it's a dramatic moment. Sometime later, I received a call from the coroner. Coronavirus? He told me there was something I needed to see. It wasn't my father. There in the morgue was my father, cold and pale, on a steel table. I could barely stand to look at him. but the coroner insisted. On his arm were 2 rows of numbers, comprised of 8s and 9s. It took me a moment to recognize my father's handwriting. He had carved them on his own skin, Jesus. On his chest was another message, but there were letters this time, not numbers. It said, "To milkmen go comedy." I never knew what he meant by that, but I was sure it was important. Something to do with lions and sons. Not many, just enough to make a short sentence. I love you, Alice. I love you, Alice! Hey! Aww. Aww. That's kind of sweet. And another perfect prediction from me. He would have also had to do it like backwards, wouldn't he? Like the Sayaka. Not really Sayaka, but backwards and upside down. Broke down crying right there in the morgue. I love you, Alice. They were the first tears I'd shed since the operation had started. There was no stopping them. There would be no forgiveness for the monsters who put up my father through this. Do you reckon there's gonna be a bit towards the end where we're like, oh, the people who put behind this were actually good? Again, I don't know. It's not just like, this is an evil Luna who's killing us all. They destroyed my family. Whoops. I would make them pay, even if I had to die to do it. That night I made a promise to myself. I would avenge my father. It didn't take long to figure out that the numbers he'd written were latitude and longitude. They pointed to a chemical factory that had been disguised as an abandoned building. Further investigation revealed it was the Motherlode we'd be looking for, the headquarters of the Myrmidon. Is that how Motherlode is spelled? I always thought it was like Mother L-O-A-D. Huh. It's like per se is per se, but I never get that mixed up because I'm fancy. The headquarters of the Myrmidons. I think my father must have known how things would turn out. Knowing he was going to die, he'd written the directions to our enemy's fortress on his own body. He'd sacrificed too much for me to waste this opportunity with the recklessness. This time, our operation would succeed. This time, I wouldn't let my excitement put Clover or any other agents in danger. We then didn't do that. But we took our time. We gathered information. My voice is really starting to hurt here. We did our research, and we planned. Finally, we were ready. December 25th, 2028. Was that my date, or was that a year earlier? I think that was 2028. Was it 2028? I don't know. I feel like that's a big plot point if that's a year difference. Because that means that they've been, like, done, asleep, knocked out, honkshu, for... Yeah. 2028, that's the exact day I was kidnapped, alright. Let's run through episode 1. So at the Myrmidon, but then, on the 22nd, only 3 days before the operation was scheduled to begin. Gas, gas, gas! A man in a gas mask appeared. What? Music dying down, big moment. Or are we at the end? So you inhaled that gas, passed out, and woke up here in the AB room. Well, that was a fun story that completely ruined my voice. And I still have, like, 1.5 hours of recording to go. So this is going to be fun, but it was more fun. Episode 56, you go check that out. I've been Yempi, you've been Yempi Nation. I haven't said that outro in quite a while, but let's just keep going with the next episode. Well, not let's stop now and then go to the next episode. So see you then. Ba ba ba. Good times seem so good, so good, so good. Ah.
Whoa! You just made it to the end of another awesome Yenby video. Congratulations! There's plenty more where that came from. Click the subscribe button for more fun videos.
Hello and welcome to episode 56 of Nyempi Plays Virtue's Last Reward. Let's get let's get into it. We just had like 24 minutes of Alice giving us her whole life story, dude. I didn't ask for your whole life story. I just wanted a kiss. I actually want a kiss. I just want to kill you. My voice hurting a little bit because I did a David Attenborough-like voice for. I didn't know how long it was gonna be, and by the time my voice started to hurt, I was too far in. I couldn't stop. So hopefully Sigma just takes a vow of silence and lets everyone else speak for a couple of hours.
Yes. Well, there it is. Everything that's happened with the Myrmidons and me.
I'm gonna tell Clover you cried now. Ha ha ha.
I left a few of the details out, of course, but you get the idea.
Yeah. Thanks. The lion. She gave me a sad sort of smile and stood up.
We should go back.
Oh yeah. Your story explained a lot. Still one big question. Will you marry me?
Which is?
Who here is a Myrmidon? Myrmidon. Yeah, I'm saying it right. Us planted the bombs. And based off the code we found, it's pretty clear that person is a Myrmidon. Right?
Yes.
Is it me? So, it's not, well, you can't even rule out me, really. I agree that we need to figure out who they are. Oh, am I gonna get a to be continued? Or it's like, we need to figure out who it is before we can unlock all of these other ending bits. Whoops.
What do you propose we do?
Speaking of propose, well, that's what I want to ask you about. Do you have any clues?
Clues? Well, if I could decrypt that code, it might tell us something, but...
How can we do this? Is this going to be like, I'm going to get a pan out, not a pan out shop, like a landscape shop. Be like, damn, if only I had some sort of way to decrypt the code. Think, brain, think. It's going to be like to be continued.
I told you. We need a key. Without that, it's pointless.
What's a key?
A key is a key. It allows you to sort of unlock a code. Myrmidons usually use this huge string of numbers as a key.
Wait. A long string of numbers? Could that be 11037? There's gonna be a big reveal. Wait, I'm gonna check my notes. A long string of numbers. What long string of numbers do I have? Okay, let's check the... Oops. Where am I going? Myrmidons. That's not anything. That's not anything. That's not anything. Memento Mori, no. That's not really anything. I don't think I have anything. That's two milkmen go comedy. What have you got? What have you got for me? Could that be... is they actually gonna do it? Called it, dude. Come on. This game. This game. Too predictable. Too predictable. You know what we have to do? We have to have some unpredictability. Which is why, BAM! This is actually still episode 55. That's right, you thought it was a new episode. You thought it was a new, I put in like a new intro or something, I don't know. Maybe I just cut myself out where I said, that it was a new episode. Just kidding, this is episode 55. Wouldn't you know it? Wouldn't you, what, you thought it was a new episode? No. This has still been episode 55. Because we got an ending 3 minutes into an episode. That's right. That's right, 29-minute episode, perfect. Alright, now I'm actually gonna see you in the next one. So, see you in the next one. I don't know, I just wanted to make sure I actually have a video that ends with an ending. So, See you actually in episode 56.
Whoa! You just made it to the end of another awesome Yenby video. Congratulations! There's plenty more where that came from. Click the subscribe button for more fun videos.